Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be talking about what causes slow motility and how to speed it up. I'm going to go over the 6 most common root causes of slow motility, and then I'm going to be going over 8 ways to address those root causes and speed up your motility so that you can overcome things like SIBO, SIFO, bloating, constipation, gas, and abdominal pain. My name is Kaylee. I'm a certified nutritionist and gut health specialist, and I love helping people to overcome their chronic gut issues naturally using principles like ancestral nutrition and other holistic health practices. So let's get into the first part, which is going to be what causes slow motility. Cause number 1 is low stomach acid, bile flow, and digestive enzymes. So this is going to be focusing on the first half of digestion. If you have low stomach acid, it's going to take longer for your stomach to digest food and move it onto the small intestine. If you have slow bile flow or just sluggish bile flow, your body's going to have a hard time emulsifying and breaking down fats. So you're going to have poor fat digestion, which is just going to be an extra burden on your digestive system. It's going to cause more fat to be lumped into the waste category because you weren't able to break it down enough to absorb it and just add more bulk later on. If you have low digestive enzymes, the same kind of thing is going to happen for other foods like protein and carbs in food. So if you aren't getting enough digestive enzymes, you're not going to be breaking your food down thoroughly again, and you won't break them down into the small units that can actually go through your gut lining into your bloodstream and be utilized by your body. When it's not broken down enough, you have these extra chunks of food that are just going to have to be added into your stools, and you're not going to get to benefit from those. So this is going to slow things down because it's going to add more bulk later on that has to be moved through your small intestine and your large intestine and ultimately leave in your stools. Now, the second cause is going to be chronic stress. So if you are stressed, it pulls your body into the sympathetic state of operating, which is also called fight or flight. You need to be in the parasympathetic, which is also called rest or digest, to digest your food. You need your blood and your nutrients and your energy to be in your digestive tract so that everything can function properly. You have all the resources you need to digest food. If you don't have that and you're stressed, or you're sitting down real quick and you're just shoveling your food down and then rushing off again to do the next thing, you don't give your body the focus on digestion it needs. It doesn't mean you need to be sitting there all the time forever to just let your body digest, but by calming down and slowing down and giving your body a second to digest after you eat, you're actually going to help move things along quicker and increase that motility. Now, the third cause is going to be constipation, which might sound funny because I was talking about how if early on in the digestive tract things aren't right, it's going to affect what is happening later on. But the thing with constipation is it can basically like plug up your digestive tract from the end. If your stools get really hard and compacted and large and difficult to pass, it piles up more stools behind that. And then if you have gas production, if your microbiome's a little bit off, or even if it's not, and it's just a few gases that normally would be produced, they can't get out as easily and they're trapped and you get bloated. And then you're not hungry because the waste from your food doesn't have a way to get out. So your body doesn't want to add more. So your appetite goes down and everything just slows down. So if you are constipated, that can be another cause of slow motility, while constipation can be caused by slow motility too. So I'll get more into the details of that later. Now, the fourth cause is going to be lack of movement. So motility is how fast food and waste is traveling through our digestive system. So how we move outside of that is going to affect movement inside of our body as well. So it's really important to exercise and also just be active throughout the day. Exercise isn't quite enough. It's okay if you have to sit for a lot of things like driving or work, but just make sure you counterbalance that by going for little walks or doing chores around the house or anything to just keep your body moving. That will make a big difference in increasing the motility in your GI tract. It's also relaxing, so it helps that way, and movement is really helpful for getting your stools to move and unclog anything there as well. All right, so the fifth cause is gut dysbiosis. So this is when your microbiome has an overgrowth of pathogenic microbes and it doesn't have enough of the good microbes in it. You're always going to have both, but in a healthy microbiome, you have tons of the good ones, and the pathogenic ones are kept to a very small amount. So when the pathogenic ones overgrow, they just produce a lot of gas. This leads to a lot of bloating. This can lead to constipation sometimes. So that is how it can slow things down. It can just kind of balloon you up with a lot of gas, or it can cause constipation, which plugs you up that way. The sixth cause is going to be a poor diet. So if you are eating a lot of difficult to digest foods, a lot of raw plants, a lot of beans and grains that haven't been soaked or properly prepared, things like that are just hard for your body to break down. If you pair that with already having low digestive enzymes and weak digestion in general, you are not going to break down those foods, and it will produce so much excess waste that will again just clog up this whole system and slow everything down. Also, if your diet is not providing the nutrients you need to make stomach acid and make digestive enzymes and make bile and make all these things you need for your digestive system to function, that's going to be a problem as well. All right, so let's get into part 2, which is how to speed up motility. So essentially, this is going to be pretty much to do the opposite of everything that I just mentioned, but I'm going to give you some more helpful tips for each one, so you know exactly how to implement these. All right, so the first cure will be to support strong stomach acid. So this is very important, like I've already mentioned. Basically, how you're going to support your strong stomach acid is to give it the tools, give your body the resources, I should say, it needs to make stomach acid. So that's going to be zinc, sodium, and magnesium. Zinc is in oysters and a lot of seafoods. It's in red meat and some other things as well. Sodium, salt, good quality salt's a great source. It's also going to be in a lot of seafood and anchovies and sardines and things like that, and olives. And then magnesium, it is in like a bunch of random things like blueberries and chocolate and some other things as well. You can look that up if you want. But anyway, so that's going to be really important. You also want to manage stress and just be relaxed when you eat so that you allow your body to actually release that stomach acid. And if you are struggling with stomach acid and that's not enough in the meantime, you can take apple cider vinegar and water. So you do 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar per 16 ounces of water. Put a little pinch of salt in there, and you can have that anytime you're having like acid reflux or any issues like that. You can have it right before your meal and with your meal as well. So you can do that about once a day. You could do it twice if you're having a hard day, but once a day is plenty. So that is something you can do. You can also take HCl if you want. That can help as well. Those are kind of first things to do. They're not really going to fix it long term, but they do help fix it long term. It's kind of funny. They're kind of root causes, but also kind of Band-Aid solutions. So you want to do both. That's really what's going to help you the most. All right. So then, also I have a video that goes much more in depth into low stomach acid symptoms and like how to fix it as well. So if you want more info on that, check out that video. All right. So the second cure is to support bile flow. So you want to have your bile flowing well so it can digest and break down those fats really effectively. You'll absorb the fats and then you won't have as much waste. So to support bile flow, you basically want to eat fats that will stimulate bile flow, or eat things that are bitter. That will also stimulate bile flow. So this could be bitter greens like dandelion. Greens are great for this. You can have teas. You can have dandelion or burdock tea is really good for this as well. Oh, broccoli rabe would be another really good bitter green. So anything bitter is going to help. And then acidic things will help too. So apple cider vinegar water, lemon water, like juices like grapefruit juice or apple juice, those kinds of things will also help to stimulate your bile flow. And if you want more info on stimulating bile flow, you can check out this video up here. All right, so the third cure is going to be to eat a nutrient-rich diet. This will help you to make more digestive enzymes so you can digest your food better, and it will also help you to repair any damage in your digestive tract. To eat a nutrient-dense diet, you really want to focus on animal foods. Those are the most nourishing foods. They are rich in tons of nutrients. They are rich in the right forms of nutrients that our bodies are able to absorb easily and utilize right away. So I like to use nose to tail principles. So consume organ meats, bones in bone broth, or have the bone marrow or things like that. And then also the muscle meat as well. This is an excellent way to get all your nutrients in, or to start to. I also like to have eggs. Those are super nutrient rich. You also want to have dairy and or seafood. That helps to balance things out. And then some fruits and veggies. More fruits are more important. You can have veggies if you want to as well. Those should be the pillars of your diet. You can definitely expand beyond there. I toast up nuts and have them on salads sometimes. I make sourdough bread sometimes. I go beyond that, but those should be the main focuses of your diet to make sure you get all your nutrients in. All right, so the fourth cure is to relax around mealtime. A really helpful thing to do here is to start your meal by sitting down and taking a few deep, slow breaths to just calm your body and go, okay, we're done brushing around or doing this chore. Working right now is relax and eat time. That's really helpful. If you find yourself rushing, you can even like put your fork down between bites to prevent yourself from shoveling things down. And also just decreasing stress in general is going to be really helpful here, just to make sure you're digesting your food well, but really focus on around the meal time when you sit down, being relaxed. And something that I used to focus on this really heavily, I guess I still kind of do, but when my digestive issues were really bad, I would always sit down for like at least 10 minutes after I ate and not get up and go do things. Now, so I more listen to my body. If I'm okay to get up and walk and go clean up the kitchen or something like that, I will do that. But I do keep it mild. I don't do really heavy activity at all right after I eat. So you can either just sit down or just keep things really slow and give your body a chance to digest. You just ate a bunch of food. All right. And if you want more tips on overcoming stress and just activating that parasympathetic nervous system state, then you can check out this video here. All right. So the fifth one is to overcome constipation. Now, I talk about this a ton. Most of you probably know I dealt with constipation for 10 years, so I'm very familiar with this one. Overcoming constipation will help to get things moving at the very end of your digestive system and not plug it up. There are so many things that go into this. Eating a diet that doesn't produce a lot of excess waste, like I've been talking about, is huge. Fixing your microbiome is huge. Exercising regularly is really helpful as well. Another thing I really like is having a good routine in the morning where you're relaxed. Sometimes constipation can be caused by chronic stress and being in go, go, go mode all the time, and just having a schedule where you get up and you make breakfast real quick and then you run out the door to work and then you're working and your body just doesn't have a time to slow down and be like, oh, okay, now I can go have a bowel movement. So you really have to signal to your body and get in a routine and rhythm where your body knows like 9 o'clock or right after breakfast or right when I wake up. Usually it's the morning. It can absolutely be in the afternoon. I just find more people it tends to be in the morning. But anyway, you just need to have a time your body knows you can go to the bathroom, and make sure it's really relaxed and it's not rushed and you're not giving yourself too much pressure to go right then. Those are some of the most helpful things I've found for overcoming constipation. Not having too much fiber is really important. Water and hydration is important too. It's not going to heal it on its own, but that is another component as well. You can also try different little things that help you have the urge to go. Coffee can be really helpful. I had a client that lemon ginger water with a pinch of salt that was warm in the morning helped give her the urge to go. You can do juices. I've heard that has been very helpful for a lot of people. Applesauce or stewed apples have helped some of my clients too. So if you have any little thing like that that helps you go, that's great. I would advise against like hardcore laxatives. Every once in a while, like an herbal laxative can be fine, but you really don't want to depend on that. Enemas can be helpful for clearing things out and kind of giving you a fresh start. They can be helpful for preventing you from getting really uncomfortable. But you don't really want to do those more than once a week, and you don't really want to rely on those either, but they can be a tool in overcoming constipation. And if you want more info on overcoming constipation, I have a lot of videos on that, and I will link one above that talks about the root causes and long-term solutions for constipation right up there. All right, the sixth one is exercise. So I just talked about this a little bit, but pretty much moving your body externally is going to help movement on the inside. This really helped me with my constipation. Actually, when I moved from dancing in the afternoon, I did ballet for 13 years, to weightlifting and running in the mornings, my God, that just stimulated a bowel movement so much easier. So I think that exercise is really powerful for that. And even too, like with that routine that I was talking about, for me, exercising, drinking enough water while I exercise, having my breakfast, having some coffee, right after that is the perfect time for me to go. I just have it ingrained in my schedule that I always have some relaxed time right there. And those prior things help to stimulate it. It's a good schedule now. So that's what I have found works really well there. All right, so the seventh cure is to fix your microbiome. So it's really important that you get your microbiome healthy and good. So I talk about this a lot, but fermented foods is going to be really beneficial here. So kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, fermented veggies, anything like that will help to restore those good microbes in there. You also want to avoid sugar and alcohol and artificial sweeteners like stevia that could feed those pathogenic microbes in there. And you want to avoid antibiotics whenever you can, and antibacterial soaps and harsh cleaners, because all of that will wipe out a lot of those good microbes in there. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about really healing your microbiome and healing gut dysbiosis and just having a great growth of good microbes in there, you can check out this video up here. Okay, so the eighth cure is to prioritize animal foods over plant foods. So animal foods are just going to be way easier for your body to digest. They're going to be more nutritious, and they're going to add less bulk to your stools. This doesn't mean you have to go full carnivore by any means, but just prioritize having more animal foods in your diet over plants. And when you do have plants, I would encourage you to have fruits and veggies be the main plants that you consume, and really limit those nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes. All right, so I just made a training on my free Facebook group that is 2 steps to fully restore your gut microbiome and reverse SIBO in 3 months. So if you want more info on that, definitely check out that training. I will have it linked below. This is only in my Facebook group, but it is completely free to join. So go check that out if you want to learn how to overcome SIBO and restore your gut microbiome in just 3 months. I will also have the videos that I mentioned throughout this video linked in the description if you want to learn more about any of the things that I talked about. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking, commenting, let me know what you want to hear more about in future videos. Share this video with anyone that you think would find it helpful. And if you're on a journey to heal your gut naturally using nutrition and natural principles, and you want more help along the way, definitely subscribe, because I post new videos every single week about all different things related to that. So it is meant to be a very helpful resource for you on your gut healing journey. So I would love to have you subscribe if you are interested. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.